Good morning, everybody. It is the last day of the month of January. It's just turned 8:12 a.m. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so what do we got going on here? So the market was kind of crazy a little bit yesterday. It kind of sold off a little bit, got bought up. Then Trump talked about tariffs, sent the market down. Then the market recovered. And then what did we have after the close? We had Apple report earnings, right? And they missed a little iPhone sales, but that doesn't matter. They're up 4.25%. Okay. And our markets are gapping up. Okay. So that's, obviously Apple's a very heavily market cap weighted stock and it's going to move markets, right? So that's where we are. Now, today we have core PCE data coming out at 8:30. All right. That's the Fed's preferred gauge. All right. Personal income, personal spending. And at 9:45, you have Chicago PMI. Okay, 9:45 Chicago PMI. That's what we have today. Now, another thing is it's the last day of a month. Now, the last day of the month sometimes plays some games and does some crazy stuff in the last 10 minutes of the market. It could happen again. Just be aware. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the markets, low and gamma exposure levels, supply and demand, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. All right, that's what's my edge. Now, being that what I just said, that's my edge, right? Yesterday, had a nice day yesterday, had a live stream for about an hour and 47 minutes of me commentating on the market live. Took a trade. I explained everything I look at, and it's a lot, but I thought I pretty much it seemed like I was a maestro. And that's not being cocky, that's just me seeing the markets over and over again and what they generally should do probability wise, right? It just happened to happen before everybody's eyes. So that was pretty cool. I'll do that again in the future. I'm gonna see what I want to do with that video. It's like an hour and 47 minutes. Obviously, that's pretty long, but I still think it's important. All right, I don't know if I'm gonna edit it or just put it the raw way and just upload it to YouTube, and anybody can watch. All right. Now, hopefully, you join me every day. Come join your boy. Subscribe, set an alert. Give you to recap the news, what's going on with the markets, the story. Just at your one-stop shop. That's all you need to come to is me. All right. Now, of course, if you like my content, please smash that like button. All right. Now, every day, I analyze the markets. Okay, and you want to join me? Do it. I give long and short trade scenarios. Now, in those scenarios, right, the market has to open up, and I gotta digest new information, right? Then I meld the two together. What's going on? Because nobody knows what's gonna happen, and then I decide if I want to put risk on or not. Okay, risk on or not, and if I do, and it's educational, I will make videos. Now, full transparency here, I did have some heart issues in December, and they're kind of getting to me this week a little bit. So every time I say I'm going to do a video, I don't feel too hot at the end of the day, and then I don't get a chance to do it because I don't have the energy. All right. Hopefully this weekend I feel better and I can knock out videos. I think I got about 3 or 4 trading videos coming out. And this week I've had a very good week of trading. Very good. So a lot of nice trading, not a nice trades, and just an overall great week. So, and I will share those trades with you. Now, where will I share them? On my YouTube Shorts, right? And my X account at Gonzo719. On TikTok, Gonzo719 Trader. All right. Then becoming a new star to show is my Discord server, Confluence Trading. Please come there, join. Go to my YouTube homepage, click the link, and say hi. All right. That's the most interaction you're going to have with me. All right. I go live every day. I put gamma levels, key levels, my options trades, my thoughts on the market. It's just a one-stop shop. Okay, one-stop shop. So please come join that. All right, that would be awesome. All right, now without further ado, why don't we just get right into futures? All right, let's get right into the futures watch list. Let's do it. Boom. Alrighty. Let's see what's moving markets. Okay. Who's the leader of the pack? We got Ethereum. We got Ethereum up there. They're up 4.02%. Nasdaq's up 0.75. Silver's up 0.53. ES up 0.44. The dollar's up 0.34. The Russell's up 0.33. The Dow's up 0.28. Crude is up slightly, up 0.18. 10-year yield is up 0.16. Gold is flat. Bitcoin is flat. 30-year bonds are flat, and the VIX is down 3.47%. It's to 15.9 VIX. Moving on to the Max 7 Plus. All right, we got Apple. Reported earnings up 4.24%. Broadcom is up because I believe Meta said they're using their chips or some. They're working with Meta, so they're up 1.50. Microsoft up 1.06. Amazon 0.92. Meta's up 0.82. AMD up 0.63. Google's up 0.41. All right, now is there a laggard? Eli Lilly's only down 0.09, but Nvidia, we're talking. There's a probe into Nvidia, and if the DeepSeek purchased their chips or something's going on like that. Okay, so Nvidia had that nice bounce, but let's see what happens with Nvidia, right? All right, moving on to the top sector stocks here. Let's get those. Snowflake up 1.87%. Visa up 1.78%. I believe they reported earnings. Salesforce up 1.29. Qualcomm up 1.21. Okay, UPS up 0.70. And I got slammed. That is like, I got to look at the chart again, but that's pretty much really getting cheap. UPS, they just keep not doing great in earnings. Okay, Exxon reported earnings. They were good. All right, now let's look at laggards. All right, we got Johnson & Johnson down 0.16. United Healthcare down 0.18. Morgan Stanley down 0.23. Chevron missed earnings and they're down 1.36%. 1.36%. Now let's get a little more granular with the market and see my swing trade list here. Team Atlassian, I believe they reported earnings. They're up 19.5%, 19.5%. AbbVie reported earnings. They're up 4.3%. Charter Communications up 3.97%. Vertiv stock, if you've been watching me, I own up 2.27. ASML, I also have a little position up 2%. Carvana's up 1.9. Intel reported earnings yesterday after the close, up 1.8%, and 1.80%. Obviously, Datadog up 1.68. Roku up 1.54. All right, I'm probably gonna stop there. Hood up 1.53. Now, laggards. Let's check into those laggards today. We have Walgreen Boots Alliance down 12.13%. Okay. ON down 2.58. Crocs down 1.18. And Occidental Petroleum down a percent. Okay, those are your laggards. Not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. Okay. Moving on to the guts, the sectors. Let's talk about it. Technology with Apple up 0.90. That's the most heavily weighted sector in the S&P, market cap weighted. So that is about almost 33% of the market cap. Okay. Semis up 0.46. Sorry. Healthcare up 0.24. Financials up 0.21. Communications up 0.16. Utilities up 0.14. The only laggard here is Staples, down 0.15. Now, why would that be Staples? Who's weak in Staples? PepsiCo is flat. Maybe Coca-Cola is down. I don't see it yet. I don't know. I don't see a staple that's weak per se. I mean, that's slightly weak, but interesting. All right, let's move into some news and economic calendar. All right. Okay, so 8:30 today in about 9 minutes. we'll have core PCE, personal income. All right. Fed Bowman speaking 8:30 as well. All right. And then Chicago PMI 9:45. Alrighty. So now let's just finish off looking at earnings. So after the close, Apple, Intel, Visa, KLAC, Atlassian, Decker, United States Steel all report earnings. Before the open today was ExxonMobil, AbbVie, Chevron. Those are and Colgate, Palmolive. Right. That's earnings. Let's go back to economic calendar. We're going to go to news. First, let's go here. I like to always stop here, and they usually have a nice little. What the heck? I don't know what it. I don't know. That opened up a new. I think that opened up a new thing. All right. Sorry about that. Let's just see if they. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Alrighty. Let's talk about some news. Apple stock rose 4% after the iPhone maker said it now expects sales to grow in the low to mid single digits in its fiscal second quarter, surpassing expectations and pointing to momentum in demand. ExxonMobil stock rose 0.3 after the oil giant beat estimates. Chevron stock fell 1% after the oil major posted lower than it talked about that. Colgate Palmolive stock fell 2.7. That could be a little weakness in staples. What else here? AbbVie stock rose 4.2. The drug maker forecast 2025 profit above estimates. There you go there. Now, let's look at, what was I going to look at? The news, more news here. All right, so North America braces for new Trump tariffs as Saturday deadline nears. Companies, consumers, and farmers across North America brace for U.S. President Donald Trump to impose 25% tariffs on Canadian and Mexican imports within hours, moves that could disrupt nearly 1.6 trillion in annual trade. Okay. Now, investigators seek to salvage aircraft after deadly Washington crash. Investigators plan to push forward with efforts to retrieve the two aircraft involved in the crash in Washington that killed 67 people and raised questions about air safety in the U.S. Capitol. Now, the dollar index edged up slightly in commodities. Oil prices edged down as markets awaited U.S. President Donald Trump's actions regarding his tariff threats to Canada and Mexico this week. And meanwhile, safe haven demand helped gold scale an all-time high before steadying. All right, just looking at some news that we didn't talk about. If there's something there, we'll talk about it. But if not, we'll move on. So, United States Steel Company reported fourth quarter loss in revenue that matched Wall Street estimates on Thursday, dented by price declines and a bumpy demand environment. Okay, let's see here. It says Amazon, the e-commerce giant, is increasing its advertising on billionaire Elon Musk's social media platform X. Okay. Costco, the retailer, will increase pay for most of its hourly U.S. store workers to more than $30, according to a memo sent to employees this week. The pay hike comes after Costco's Teamsters Union members said earlier this month that they voted in favor of a nationwide strike as they entered final rounds of talks to reach a new contract ahead of January 31st deadline. Okay, it says Goldman Sachs, President Vladimir Putin has authorized the purchase of Goldman Sachs unit in Russia by investment company Balchug Capital. Interesting. All right, here's the Walgreens Boot Alliance. The pharmacy chain operator suspended its quarterly cash dividend. Whoa. Amid restructuring efforts, they canceled their dividend. The company's cash needs over the next several years, including with respect to litigation and debt refund. Oh, that's not good. Okay, let's talk about Apple. Goldman Sachs raises target price to 294. Caterpillar, J.P. Morgan cuts target price 490 to 490 from 515. Comcast Corp. Goldman cuts target price to 44 from 50. Intel, Jefferies cuts target price 23 from 25. Mastercard, Jefferies raises target price to 660 from 620. All right. Let's look at our upgrades very quickly here. We'll just do upgrades, downgrades. Let's see here. Comcast is upgraded even though it just got price target cut. Interesting. Underperformed the neutral. EA Sports, neutral to a buy. Enphase, sell to a neutral. Wow, sell to a neutral. and that's about it. Downgrades. Comcast downgraded and upgraded. Interesting. Hershey downgraded. Hershey's just getting hurt. Woo. Mondelez downgraded. Overweight to neutral. Let's see here. Occidental Petroleum downgraded from a neutral to a sell. Obviously, that's a lot of money from Warren Buffett in there. UPS downgraded. Not a surprise there. Okay. Now, let's move over to the dailies before that news drops in 3 minutes. In 3 minutes. Let's look at a good old SPY. Three minutes. All right, let's look at this real quick. Now, yesterday, you kind of starting almost like a 3-day kind of balance here. Okay. Opened here, right? Opened here, pushed down, pushed up. Trump talked about tariffs, sold off, closed here. Okay. Now, where are we at now? Almost 607.90, 607.90 up here. There's a key level over here, 608.43. So you basically got rid of the big deep seek sell off. All right. Basically got rid of that. So let's look at the futures. So you see there's like almost like a 4-day balance in futures that now we're over it. There's the gap, right? So very interesting. Now that's last week's lows. That's last week's highs. We're inside last week's range. Okay, that's what's going on with futures. Let's look at the Qs before this news drops. All right, here's Qs. Now Qs is higher low, higher low, higher low. Over the year-to-date acre VWAP, touchdown there again. 20-day simple moving average. Okay, poke that head out here. Now we're at 527.25, 527.25, right here, right? Gapping up, and it's a key level 520, 528 is a key level. 528 is a key level. Let's look at futures. All right, futures overall moving averages. There's the gap, right? Trying to close that gap. It doesn't count in overnight sessions, but just saying it. This is the price movement that was right here, that big nasty deep seek, right? So you got last week's highs around 220.90. Okay, 220.90. Okay, so let's just go back right here. We'll look at it if core PCE really moves this market. I'll just go to an hourly chart here, and we'll just see in 8 seconds what happens with the personal income and core PCE. Core PCE headline year over year is 2.6%. 2.6% is the consensus, and I just saw it drop right here. All right, right here we got. I love that Alexa reminder right while I'm doing the stream. Now, year over year, we expected 2.6, we got 2.6. Okay. Now, the core, I'm going to have to go to the 1 star here to probably get the core. Let's see, core year over year. This is the important one. 2.8 consensus, 2.8 we got. So, in line, no surprises. And the market isn't doing anything. Isn't doing anything. Okay? For right now, there's a nothing burger. Nothing burger. Okay? Let's move on. Since that's a nothing burger, we're going to go to the main event, and that is the market profile, volume profile. Here we go, folks. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Actually, they didn't go over the triple-headed monster, but VIX is down, dollar's up, 10-year yield right now is up 0.38. All right. Okay, let me get my marker out. I don't know if G-Man's here. He's usually a lawyer watcher. Let's expand this a little bit. Yep. All right. G-Man, what'd you think of that live stream yesterday? Just want to get your thoughts on it. You saw me enter a trade with a traditional no confirmation of a candle, right? And later on, I had a short. That was pretty nice. That wasn't on the live stream. All right. Let look at levels. You missed the big short. Yeah. I mean, be honest with you, that was a nice short, but actually where it held, there was a lot of support where I was trying to break, and internals changed, and I saw the market starting to get stronger, and it was like value area low in the volume profile, and that would have been the best long. But I had two trades already, both in profit, and it was getting later in the day. You know, that was the long. But I can't complain. I'm not going to sit here and cry that I made money. All right. Now, let's look at this market. Okay. Let's look at the rolling profile. Here we go. Excess here, right? Value area here. And then we got a little bit of excess today with the gap up. Okay, what's important here is we got some new levels to talk about. Okay. We're gapping up. We're gapping up. So we're priced right here, 61.26. Happens to be the most traded price of the overnight. You can see it right here. It's got a bullish imbalance to the profile. It's incomplete. I would expect higher prices. Okay, that doesn't have to happen now. It can happen in the real-time trading hours. Okay. What else? So most traded price of the week is still 60.77. Okay, let's actually go over yesterday real quick. All right, let's go over yesterday. So yesterday opened up, pushed up, pulled back. I actually got long in like somewhere in here, and it was G-Man can attest to it. I literally did my math wrong by a quarter tick. Took some off, but I should have took half my position, and then it knocked me out, which is fine. And then I pointed out in my live stream that it hit week to date VWAP, anchor VWAP for the week, but all my signals weren't aligned to go long here, so I didn't. Right? That's what happened. And then what happened was we came up to where? Now this time the market internals were very like parity. There was no winner, there was no loser, there was no strength, there was no weakness. So we came right up to this high, which is the previous day's high, and struggled there. And I'm going to do a video on it, but there was kind of like an order flow trap here. So a bunch of buyers came at the top of this candle, and they didn't get anything. They didn't like all that work from the buyers in this candle, or at the top of this candle, was for nothing. Because then, boom, I hit this short, took some off. I had a 5 point stop, took some off at 10 points, took some off at 15 points. So 2 to 1, 3 to 1. And then I was sitting, I think somewhere around 60.77, like right here, my stop. And as I started, see how many times we came down and just stayed and stayed and stayed. And I was like, oh boy, this could be, I could get stopped here. And then I got stopped. So nice trade, but really this was the long. And look at that sucker. That would have been nice. Okay? That would have been real nice. Now, don't get me wrong. Trading's very mentally exhausting. So like, I could have pivoted. I thought about taking my position off, and that would have been a bigger profit for me because it would have been like a 3 to 1. 300 or 300%, right? And I thought about it, and I was like, do I really want to take that off if it falls? But I saw the market firming up. That would have been a very nice long. Okay. All right. Let's talk about levels. Okay. Most trade now. There's a little caveat here. There are an ultimate balance as far as 24 hours. So the most traded price of the month and the week in the 24-hour session are equal. That means that everybody agreed upon this price. Let's call it 60.80. Okay. This is the 24 hours. I chart the real-time trading hours. Okay. So the 24-hour session, we're in ultimate balance, which means big moves happen from here. Okay. Now, what does this signify up here? Well, in the real-time trading hours, this level, and there's no, I don't doubt why we stopped there. This level of 60, I just said it before. What is it? 61. Let's call it 61.26. Is the most traded price of the last month. So look how the market came right up into this area, and it hit a wall. Price is here now. This is what happens. This is what happens when you hit a major high volume node. You can see the volume here. Okay, the orange. Okay, so I expect that to stop the market, which it has. Okay, couple demands down here. Now look at overnight inventory. We have open here. All right, this much short activity to this much long activity, and we're up here. Okay, I don't call that much of an edge. That much. Okay, our gap fill is 61.16 right there, and we're actually gapping up into a gap. Okay, that has not been filled. Okay, gap rules. All right, let's talk about gap rules. All right, number one is a gap and a go. That's your strongest case. Second strongest. Fail to fill the gap, go up. Right. Third, fill that gap, push up. Right. And then four. This is all gauging the gap. Right. You start to go into yesterday's range. That just means the buyers aren't as strong. Doesn't mean it can't go back up. It just means that, oh, all right, that's just showing you a strength gauge, okay? All right, now I get that out of the way. Now, big level here, okay? I'm gonna look for, let's see here. Okay, so I got my levels, got my plan right away. Okay, I can see it right away. All right, let's get into scenarios now. All right, here we go. We're gonna start with the bull. Okay, now 61.26 is the most traded price of the last month, the rolling month. Okay, bulls want to push over this and accept value above it. Okay, bears want it to fall back. Okay, so here's a scenario. My gap fill 61.16 lines up in demand right here. Okay, so what could happen is this. Even if we get a push up, rejection, come through 61.26, and this gets tricky. Now, in the beginning of a session, this level could get pushed through it because the high volatility, the high volume in the beginning could make moves happen. If you go into a session more like 15, 20, 30 minutes, this level becomes more of a wall. Okay, so this pullback into demand, into the gap fill, can get bought, and then you can work your way, hold, hold, hold. There's a bunch of overhead supply here. Maybe you go to this naked VPOC of 61.48. That naked VPOC is just an untested most traded price of a past day. Okay, you got a little bit of a high volume node here as well. All right, so that's one. Right, and what else can happen? We could do this. Push above this big 61.26, then pull back and establish acceptance, and then move higher. Now we do have last week's highs. That is 61.62. 61.62. Okay. Now there's a lot of demand down here. So I would say this as a barometer. The most traded price of yesterday is around 6100, 60.99. Okay. That's right here. You got a demand right here. So even if we pulled back to here and the market's not that weak and it started to hold, yeah, maybe we can come back up here, either end here or get a little higher. Below this, I don't think I'm that much going to look for the long. I don't think so. Okay. Now there is this important level. Overnight low is 60.84 or 60.85. And then you have the most traded price of the last 24, the most traded price of the week and the month in 24-hour session. Okay. This could get held. If the market isn't that weak here, then maybe I might think about it. And I don't think you go that high at this point. Okay. That's that. Let's look at bear side. Okay. Remember this big levels here. 61.26. You got our gap fill. Okay. So if I'm a bear, right, you got the most traded price of the overnight and of the month. So if I'm a bear, I'd like to see a whoop. You go up, swiftly reject it, right? Come through this level. That should cause some selling. You're going to fill the gap. Now, do people buy the gap? I'd probably get maybe a little bounce. But if you get some weakness, you're going to roll over and you're going to go to the 6100, about yesterday's most traded price. Okay. If you break that, you're going to go test the overnight lows and you're probably going to test 60.77, the most traded price of the month in the 24-hour session and the most traded price of the week. You break this, hold, hold, hold. Now, we have some important levels here down here, 60.60, right here. We come down and test that and we don't bounce there. Yep, that will probably might be going down to the most traded price of the year, which is 59.88. Now remember, it's the end of the month. A lot of games get played at the end of the month. Okay? Keep that in mind. Okay. Now, moving on to the NASDAQ. I'm not going to go over gap rules. I already did that. Okay? So, okay. All right. Profile, excess. You got value area here and a little excess, right? All right. Now let's talk about these levels. Okay? You are in ultimate balance in the NASDAQ. Most traded price of the week and the month are equal. That price is 215.50. That's your bull bear line. 215.50. Price is up here, 217.81. You're gapping up. Gap fill 217.48. Okay? So, you don't have much resistance above this area. Now, this is the previous gap from DeepSeek. We're inside that. We're gapping up inside that gap. There's not much up here. So, very interesting. Not a lot of overhead supply in the NASDAQ. Okay. Most traded price of the overnight, 217.78. Right here. I'd watch that. This just means the most people agreed upon the price overnight here. So if we get a pull, if we pull away from that here, that should cause some selling. You got demand here and you got the gap fill. Okay. And you got a similar setup here. You got a nice weak confluence low right here around 215.83 because that's the overnight low as well. Okay. And below that, ultimate balance level 215.50. Okay. So I actually would like a long. I like the long in NASDAQ because there's not much above. Apple reported earnings. We just have to see. Okay, we just have to see. Now let's go into scenarios. Scenarios. Okay, Let's do bull case. Okay, price is here. Here's your gap fill. Here's your demand. Here's the most share price of the overnight. Okay, so I could see happening a couple things. Okay, this could push up, fill the old gap. Okay, come back through that most traded price of the overnight, hit gap fill and demand. Could even push down to here. Doesn't matter. You just want to see it get bought up. If it does, there's not much stopping this. Okay, I think it could possibly go up to this supply, this naked VPOC around 220. All right, there is not much stopping this. Okay, that's really what I'd like to happen. Now, of course, can we open up, push up, kind of hold, and move up? Sure, sure, right? If the market has a deeper correction, let's say it comes through here and wipes out these demand zones, come right down to this confluence low, most traded price of yesterday in the overnight low, right? And then you got the big ultimate balance. If this was quick and the market's not that weak, yeah, possibly you can bounce here and move up. Now, I don't think you're going to move up that high. You might move up here. Okay, that's what I see in the Nasdaq. Bear side. Okay, bear side. There's not much here. Okay, so how you look at this, you have a gap that's unfilled here. Oop, right here and here. Oh, from the past. Okay, that's your gap fill. You need to look at that and process information, what the market tells you. If we can't fill, let's say we move up and we can't fill that gap, come through the most traded price of the overnight right here. You're going to get selling, okay? And that means that we couldn't fill the gap. Now, if we filled today's gap, fine. But even if you get a weak bounce there and you start to cut through, okay? Now look at the volume in the overnight. Very thin here. So if we come back through here, it could really get steam and really test yesterday's most traded price in the overnight low. That's that weak confluence low. Now, if you hit the ultimate balance level, this is not going to be easy to cut through, 215.50. But if you do, cut through, hold. Okay? You're going to get some selling, and very well can come to last week's lows, 213.70, and hit the most traded price, 213.50, I believe, of the year in a big demand zone. All right. Now, do I think we just lose all that? I don't know. Right. But if we lost that, you're going to test these lows at around, what is that, 211.60, I think that is. Okay. We just have to see. This could definitely hold the market. You got anchor VWAP for the month and for the year really too, because it's January, right there around 214.30s. All right, that's what I'm looking at today. But I really do like the long to go up. But we have to see what the market gives us, right? Have to see what the market gives us. All right, that's the plan, folks. That's the plan. Today, I'm going to be super patient because I've had a great week and I don't want to think that I'm amazing and get too big of a head, right? So, I'm just going to sit back, and if the market doesn't say to me, this is your setup, put risk on, probably going to just not do anything, right? I don't want to not do anything, but I want to make the market force my hand. Okay, that's what I want to do today. The market to force my hand, because I'd love to have the weekend. End of the month, had a nice month. Move on to February. That's a new month. So, all right. So we got our plan now. Hopefully, I don't know who's with me. G-Man's very loyal. So smash the like button for me. All right. Smash that like button for me if you enjoyed or like my content. I was trading live yesterday. I have the video. I recorded it. I didn't stream it. It was streamed live in Discord, my Discord. Go to my YouTube homepage. Go to my link for the Discord and join up. I don't know I'll do live trading today. but I will probably go live and explain what my analysis is and what my game plan will be. Okay? Now, if you haven't done so, I don't know if your name is Philippe, subscribe, set an alert. All right? Every day I do this around 8 a.m., around there. Okay, I'm just going to say that. Give you the recap. Have a cup of coffee, tea, water, whatever you want to have. Driving your car, even in the shower, put me on a speaker, Bluetooth speaker. Let me give you the recap of the markets. All right, good recap. Leaders and laggards, market news, economic calendar, if there's earnings, and of course the long and short trade scenarios that I give you every day. Okay, long and short trade scenarios that I give you every day. And then if there's an educational trade, which I think I owe you 3 or 4 videos now, 3 or 4 videos are going to be dropping. I just need to edit them. Okay, 3 or 4 videos are going to be dropping. All right, I will post them to my YouTube Shorts and also to my X at Gonzo719. Okay, also go to my TikTok, Gonzo719 Trader. And now for Philippe Chow, Confluence Trading Discord server. That is in my YouTube page. Please come join. You have more interaction with me. Okay, more interaction. I give my live market updates. I will go live, give you my key levels. I give you gamut exposure levels. Okay, and my comments. There's also option trades I do in there. I like the community, start a community. Everybody start to talk amongst themselves. All right. I have a trader reflections section that I talk about maybe if I didn't do something right, a new rule or something I want to implement. All right. So come join. Okay, cool. I don't maybe know your username in the Discord then. But that's awesome. That's awesome. Tell anybody you want to come join too. Okay. All right. Now, got our plans. It's off to now see if we implement those plans and how the market opens. Okay. And like I said, uh, I probably will make it go live today after I get my plan and just to tell you my thoughts. Okay. And anyway, everybody have a great weekend. Remember, end of the month today. End of the month. It's a weekly options expiry and it's end of the month. So that last 10 minutes of the market could do some crazy stuff. All right. All right, everybody. Stay green and no trades to trade. Later.